So for your Cruisecraft 6 breaker panel, it does look fairly complicated. It's all very easy. Everything's labeled to make it very easy for you guys. First one is your DC main breaker. This is how you power on the control to all the other breakers. That's why it's a red double breaker, big breaker here. So you're going to want to make sure you leave that one on at all times. Lights, as we go down, you guys can just turn them on and off using the light switches throughout the boat. That is more than enough. On the Cruisecraft 6, there's 3 water pump breakers. One is located right here. One is located right here. And just below frame, there's a black switch that says water pump, and there'll be an orange light on that one as well. All 3 of those will need to be turned off when you guys are driving the boat. The reason behind that is if you are driving the boat with those water pumps on, you can suck up air, or you will suck up air into your lake water pump. It's going to airlock the pump, so you're going to have no water going throughout the entire boat. So these need to make sure that they are off before you start driving. If you need to use water while you are driving, you're going to put your boat into neutral. You're going to come to a stop. You can flip on the breakers, use the water as you need, and then flip off those breakers before you start driving again. So there's 3 water pump breakers on the Cruisecraft 6s, 2 on the main breaker panel, and 1 is just below the breaker panel, and it'll be labeled water pump. It's a big black switch. So just below that, you guys have covered water heater breakers. You're going to want to leave those 2 water heater breakers, 3 water heater breakers there, in the on position for your entire trip, just so you have hot water going throughout all your taps and such. There is an indicator switch, which we'll go over next. So going on about the water heater, this is your water heater indicator switch. Right now it's in the on position and there's no red illuminated reset light. So that means your water heater is heating your water. What you guys can do, if you do ever come by and you see this red reset light illuminated, so it's bright red, it means your water heater pilot light has gone out. So you're going to need to reset that. To reset that, the easiest thing to do is you flip your on-off switch just to the off position, and then you can flip it back on. Usually that does relight that water heater and gets it going for you guys again, so you have hot water. If it doesn't go, you guys can still turn off your water heater breaker, reset that, flip it back on. If that red reset light goes away, your water heater is heating. If it doesn't seem to go away, we'll get you guys to reference your guys' manual, or if we need, we can always use the radio within main radio hours as well. Continuing on after the water heater, we'll go over the accessories for accessory power within the boat. You have your furnace breaker here, so you need to turn on this furnace breaker. You have a temperature adjustment just on the wall further up in the boat. So right here you have your furnace temperature adjustment and your fireplace temperature adjustment. So for your furnace, first off, if you want to engage your furnace, you need to make sure your breaker panel on the breaker that says furnace is turned on. You're going to flip on the little switch on the side, you're going to set it to heat, and then you'll adjust your temperature to whatever you guys want, and you should be able to hear the furnace engage once you have it set to the temperature you need. Once you're done with the furnace, set your temperature all the way down and flip the little switch on the side to the off position just to shut off the furnace. Since we've already gone over our water pumps, the fan is for you guys' fans throughout the boat. Cooler is for the main cooler in the main area here. We have more lights along this second row of breakers, which is running off your house batteries. You can turn those on and off using the switches throughout the boat. Docking lights are the lights going out the front end of the boat that shine on the beach or on the water. You have your wet bar, which is the power on the wet bar fridge in your main area. More accessory power. We've already gone over the water heater breakers. Your fuel transfer breaker, you're going to need to make sure you turn that one on, and we'll go over the fuel transfer process otherwise. So this third row of breakers here, and a couple of the breakers just in the top corner, are only going to run when your generator is running and your boat is charging.
Once you're ready to start your generator, the most important thing is ensuring that the main breaker is in the off position. That main breaker is what's connecting the power feed from your generator, so we just always want to make sure it's off so that we're not starting the gen under a load. After we've confirmed it's off, we can go to our generator start and stop and simply push in start and release. It will fire up all on its own. Once you hear it fire up, simply give it 5 to 10 minutes to warm up before flipping the main breaker to the ship's gen position. After we flipped over to ship's gen, we should see 2 things. First, our inverter remote panels will indicate that the batteries are charging. As well, the AC bus 1 or the generator fed section on the electrical panel will have power going to it now because you will have lights starting to illuminate. The times that you're going to be running your generator through your trip: first thing in the morning, every single day, just fire up that generator and let it run for 2 to 3 hours. We do have a few things drying off those batteries overnight, such as your refrigerator or maybe a couple of lights. Just bring them right back up to a full charge so that we have power while we're having breakfast and as everyone's getting ready for the day. Throughout the day, really just make sure that you're maintaining a charge above 12 volts. So if you walk by and you notice you are in or below 12 volts, just fire up that generator and run it again until you reach that full charge. Otherwise, as long as you guys are running your generator for the times that you're using lots of power in this boat, maybe we're cooking meals or we have outlets in use, the hot tub's on, stereo's on, TVs are on. Those are the times where we're going to want to run the generator just to maintain the charge on those batteries. And that will actually save you a lot of generator time just because it's easier to maintain the charge than it is to recharge batteries that have been drained. Your last most important charge time is right before bed. Run that generator for another 2 to 3 hours just to make sure that we're going to bed with a full charge on the batteries. That's just so that in the middle of the night, you guys won't be waking up to low voltage alarms because you had insufficient power to get through the night. After we've reached a full charge at any point in our trip, all we have to do to shut the generator off is flip the main breaker back to the off position and hold stop until that generator is off.
So along this row we have our cabin outlets and our galley outlets, so located in the cabin and the main galley area. Any other breaker that's covered, you guys want to leave it covered and leave it how it's set. If you flip it off or flip it to the other position, it's not going to be working. So make sure any breakers that are covered, you leave them how they're set for your entire trip. This hot tub breaker here, that's for your filling and for your high power jets and your hot tub upstairs. So for this one here, it's only going to work when the generator is running. The next thing you have is your AC compressor. You're going to want to turn that on 5 minutes before you flip on the air conditioning unit here in order for it to circulate the fluids and turn on that air conditioner in order for it to get to going. Then you have your air conditioning double breaker. You need to make sure that is on and your generator is running in order for your air conditioner to be working. This is an example of an air conditioning unit temperature adjustment on each of the boats. So it's very easy. You have your fan, which you can set to auto, on, or off. You have a system, which can be on, cool, heat, or off. And then you have your temperature adjustment over on the side here. That's how you adjust your air conditioning as well as heating sometimes within the boats. Next you have your wine chill. So for the wine chill, it's for your wine chilling rack, your wine fridge in your main kitchen area there. Trash compactor, the trash compactor just hooked onto your island there. You'll need to have the generator running for that. Same with your washer, dryer, and your cabin outlets throughout the boat. So the last row here is going to run off your inverter. So it converts 12 volt to 120 volt AC power. Couple things, TV and stereo is for the stereo and TV in the main room. You have some more galley outlets and more cabin outlets. You have fans located throughout the boat, more cabin outlets. Your microwave, I would suggest whenever you're using your microwave, have your generator running, as that's going to use a lot of power to actually heat up your food, and it's going to drain the batteries quickly. So if you have a generator running, it's not going to drain the batteries as quickly. It's going to have it continually charging. This circulator pump switch, it's going to be labeled circulator pump or hot tub heater. This is to power on your hot tub heater as well as your circulator pump upstairs at the hot tub. That needs to be on in order to circulate the heat and circulate the water within your hot tub. For the circulator pump, I would suggest having it off whenever you're not using your hot tub, as it does just drain extra battery and use extra propane for your hot tub. If you leave this on for extreme extended periods of time, you will run out of propane on the houseboat for your hot tub, and then you won't be able to heat your hot tub up. So I would suggest turning this off whenever you're not using your hot tub and flip it back on maybe an hour, hour and a half before you start using your hot tub, and you'll have a warm tub upstairs. Last couple things, your fireplace breaker. I'll show you where your fireplace temperature adjustment is further up in the boat. You have a dishwasher and a double stove breaker that will need to be on if you want to use your stove.